Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Teresa.
Day Reporting Center. It's a structured alternative to incarceration. Small staff, program director, administrative assistant, 2 pretrial release coordinators, and we've just recently added a part-time 4D child support program coordinator. Kind of help to keep the child support individuals out of our jail. We actually place them into the program, so they're getting help with their substance abuse, their GEDs. We kind of help them, push them to find employment through the classes that we offer. Our mission is to assist our Wayne County at-risk young adults by giving them a structured alternative to incarceration through our substance abuse sessions, human resource development classes, our GED classes, as well as our cognitive behavior intervention classes. Now, all of our classes are on-site, and they're all conducted through Wayne Community College at no cost to the county. The main class that we offer is the Cognitive Behavior Intervention, which is a motivational series that's designed to kind of help with their mindset, change their thinking, and they do that through exercises. They just give them a different alternative. They'll get up, they'll role play, and so, well, if this happened, what would your first instinct be? And of course, they'll say what their first instinct is, and that's when the instructor will go into, well, maybe you should have done this. So it makes them use their thoughts. It kind of changes that direction. The next class is anger management, geared toward, anger issues. Dealing with that, they kind of do that the same way as CBI through role playing. Our substance abuse education, we hold 4 meetings a week. We do the morning sessions on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the night sessions on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings for the ones that are working. Human resource development classes, just what it says, it kind of helps them with, it's designed to provide job-seeking skills to prepare the individual for applying, interviewing, and maintaining employment. And then you have your interview preparation. Classes designed to prepare the individual for the actual interview procedures. Work-life balance, skill assessment services, employment skills training, and career development. Job retention classes to assist the employed clientele by providing them guidance and assistance for maintaining their employment through role-playing and motivational processes. Parenting classes geared towards helping them with their parenting skills. And then the introduction to customer service gears them towards a customer service job. The Career Readiness Certification Lab, the CRC, we actually just have started that this fiscal year. The college has actually brought in the computers, placed them in our classroom, and we run a CRC lab to prepare them for their CRC certificate. Art class, we do this 1 time a week, and a lot of our clients are very talented, and that's their outlet. It's just a creative outlet for them. We provide them with anything they need for that class. Introduction to environmental services, just like the customer service, it just gears them and helps them towards employment in environmental services. Then we have the budgeting, help them with their monies. And then, of course, our GED classes are held on Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 5 and 5:30 to 7:30. And then the other services that we offer is transportation. A lot of them do not have the resources to get up there, so we do provide that through Gateway, or we do provide them with bus passes if they live here in the city locally. Vocational rehabilitation, we're in with VR. We work very closely with them. We refer a lot of our clients to VR to assist them with finding employment. And then the Employment Security Commission comes in quarterly and does a workshop. They have specialists that deal with individuals that have felonies on their record or are looking at felony charges, and they help them place them in jobs with employers that actually will find them employment. Our mentoring session, we do that weekly, and it's an individual that volunteers his time. He comes in an hour, 2 hours, whatever they need. They do like a round table, and they're able to vent, talk about anything that's bothering them. And that's really effective because I feel like they actually have somebody outside of the system, not employed there, that's listening to them, and he'll also mediate for them. If they're not sure of something, he'll come and ask one of the staff members. So it works out really well. And then rebuilding broken places, where we just send them to the Gang Redemption Conference. We do send them every year to that. Any workshops that they have, they'll send us emails, and we do send our clients to their workshops. So very big supporter of them. Our goals basically are to continue to ensure the safety of our citizens. That's priority number one whenever anybody gets out of jail. To continue to be positive role models. To continue to assist them with setting goals that will lead them to success. And be able to hire my part-time 4D coordinator to a full-time position and have more office and classroom space. Our budget, we currently operate right now with a $523,713 budget. That is our budget, and it is solely Wayne County funded. We don't get any else, we're just Wayne County. Last fiscal year, we saved $535,050 with our program by keeping these individuals out of jail. And we are at a $287,820 savings so far this fiscal year. It cost us $6,700 a month for our equipment to monitor, that is with the staff a day and our equipment cost, versus the $40,500 it would cost to keep somebody in our Wayne County jail at $45 a day in that time period.
Is that how you calculate the savings?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Since August of 2005, when the program was implemented, we have assisted 557 defendants with their release into our program. That has been a savings of $3,189,375 to our taxpayers in Wayne County. Basically, in summation, I just want to say I feel like the program's very positive, very productive. I've been with the program 8 years. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I learn a lot from our clients. I enjoy coming to work daily, and I enjoy working with them daily. A lot of them, they don't have anybody in their life that has ever really tried to guide them, and that's what we try to do. And we do have our successes, but we also have our failures. But even with the failures, the ones that may not make it through the program, they always come back and see us. They may come back for substance abuse, or they may come back to finish their GED, or they may come back just because they're having a question or they're having a problem. They're homeless, or they'll always come back and see us. And to me, that's what matters. We're not going to make a lot of money for the county, but we're going to save money. And the money that I brought up, that's not even including the ones that were pregnant in the jail, the ones that have had to have surgeries, where they may have had a broke jaw, or the ones that already have a condition such as cancer or AIDS that we do take into the program, and help them out with that. A lot of mental illness. We get a lot that have mental illness that's not even being treated. And we actually, through our substance abuse counselor, we actually work with Work First, and they'll take them on with no insurance. So, we have a lot of resources to help a lot of citizens in Wayne County. And since we're purely county funded, we've been able to open our doors to our other citizens. Before, when we were partially state funded, we were kind of locked down to just help the sentence offenders, and that was pretty much it. That was our agreement with them. So now that we're just county funded, we're able to open our doors to everybody. And we are having a lot of people come through. Their juvenile services uses us with their 16 and over clients. And I did right quick want to show you, this is our GPS unit. This is actually what we pay for. This goes on their leg. We're able to send it messages. So it'll say, call your officer, call the office, you need to get back, and it actually talks to them. And they have to actually push a button for it to stop. And that way we know they acknowledge it. It monitors them 24/7. And one of our child support guys is actually really happy right now because they're about to put him on the stand because his ex is saying that he's been working, but he hasn't been, and we have GPS to prove that he has not been working. So he's very happy right now. You know, this is a beacon that goes in the house if they live out in the country to where, because this works basically like a cell phone does. This is what we put in, and it marries with this unit. So we can monitor them in their house. And then basically it just, that's how it charges. It just plugs up to the wall, and then this plugs in.
Don't
And it
shock
has to
them.
sit on their leg.
Doesn't shock them or anything, does it?
No, just like a watch. They take a shower, go swimming. The only thing that we had problems with last year is if they went out into the ocean. And then we would get a strap tamper on them, and then they would be calling us, this thing keeps beeping, what do I do? Well, you know, so we have to tell them to kind of stay out of the ocean, but they can go in pools. But for some reason, the ocean, it just doesn't pick up. Yeah. And Tina beds, they can't get in Tina beds, so our females get upset, because we always tell them they have to hang their leg out if they have to. And they're like, well, then I'm going to have them on. Well, I'm sorry, but yeah, we can't put these in there.
Do we lease that equipment?
We do.
We do.
We do. We do it through Reliant.
So they do all the maintenance and everything on that?
They do all of the maintenance. Actually, we just had an incident where we lost a unit. It actually was not our fault that we lost the unit. There was a defect in the unit, so they actually ate the cost of it. This equipment with the strap and everything is $2,500. So we try not to lose, and I can honestly say that is the first one that we've lost
All these years.
in the 8 years is that unit. And there was some kind of defect with the unit. They're actually looking at what happened because he actually went offline, off-grid, and we didn't even get an alert.
Are you maxed out at 30 clients?
No, sir. We actually, with our 2 pretrial coordinators, we can do 50.
You can do 50?
25 apiece.
How
Now
many are you
we-
looking to add?
Excuse me?
Aren't you looking to add some?
We
this
are.
year?
Add 50, which will require some more personnel.
Okay.
How about space wise, how many you can have over there?
We need a bigger building. Y'all have been through my building.
That's part of what we're going to be talking to the Facilities
Yeah.
Committee about soon.
Yeah, we're kind of getting stacked in there as
Wilford and I
board.
are getting ready for Mr. May.
But at this time, how many can you handle in that facility at one time?
Oh, we can keep getting them as long as I have the staff to monitor, but like I said, they do kind of max out at 25 because it gets a little mentally taxing when you're dealing with these individuals. But as far as classrooms go, we don't do any more than 20 in a classroom for safety reasons. But we're always running classes. They get a 2-week break in between our classes, the way that we run them, so they're constantly having to do something. And we have a lot of success with them also finding employment through the classes that they're taking, because it kind of provides them with that getting up in the morning and before they even go out, and we don't even recommend or assist them finding employment until they're actually drug-free. So, and they are drug tested weekly.
You're saying your maximum currently is 50 and you have 30. Why are we not availing it for the additional 20
We
currently?
always have openings because you don't want to be maxed out because we may have court today and tomorrow and get 20. So we always try to have some openings to give yourself that maneuverability because people are coming off and on all the time. So you want to have a percentage of open. It's kind of like the jail. You don't want to be maxed out, which we are right now, but you want to have some flexibility in the program. The part of that 50 is, and with another person, we could maybe close that gap of that percentage of 10 or 15 that we'd have open all the time. In case you go into court and we get 20 today, we want some flexibility.
Any other questions? Mr. Cromartie?
So,
You're on, Mr. Cromartie. Thank you.
I guess I'm trying to determine, we're talking about that extra 20 in there. If we do the math, if we added that other 50, and I'm sorry, that's sort of a question between they reporting in the sheriff department, will we not be able to back off some of those we're sending out? It's just sort of a question. Will we be able to back off of some of those folk we're sending out of county to house if we if they have more monitors, keep them at the house? The question I'm asking is,
Yeah, we could, but unfortunately, myself nor the sheriff's department or the jail, actually, we have to go through the DA's office and the judges, so there's also another step into it. So, but we actually could, yes. It would stop them from being housed out in other counties and save us a lot of money. But we would have to get the district attorney's office on board and the judges on board, because they're actually the ones that assign them to us. We will go over and interview in the jail, but then we go to the district attorney's office that needs to be approved by them, and then the judges. So that would be something we would, have to work out with them.
And they have meetings, and we've got the court liaison working, and Teresa with them every day in court, and working with the judges so they know what our flexibility is, because they know when we max out too. But I've been in meetings, not many, but a few, where they've had conversations about higher risk individuals. And there are times that Teresa's called and said, Lee, I've been bored and got in a room and said, I'm real uncomfortable with this individual. And then we've talked with the sheriff or Fain or the DA and say, you know what, this is a possible flight risk, Judge. And we'd all lean, and then they would back off. And then if they say, no, we're wanting to do this, we say, here's the risk. So there's always a risk. Bell knows, being with probations, he's told us for years, there's always a risk.
And that goes back to, I'm sorry, Lee, but ensuring the safety citizen. I mean, that's
Exactly.
number one. When I was hired in 2005, that was something that was instilled to me. We're going to do this program, we're going to run this program, and, we're ultimately using taxpayers' dollars. So, they have a general interest, and we have to make sure they're safe. So if it comes across my desk, and I look at somebody's already been 13 months or 13 years in prison for attempted murder, and, and they're coming across, well, we need to get them out but I don't feel comfortable. But if a judge pushes it on me, we're still going to take that individual. But I will call Lee, and I'll call Borden and say, okay, this is where we're at. I don't think it's a good idea, but we're going to do it because it was ordered by the court. But we never really want to put our stuff out there solely for liability-wise. I mean, we know what could happen if somebody like that got out and it hurt and something bad happened, like what happened with the bond reduction one time. It could shut the whole program down.
Yep.
And that's something I don't want to happen because I have bills. My staff has bills to pay. So that is number one for us.
How old is the
that.
program? How old is the program?
It's 8 years. It'll be 8 years this August.
So you've been in the program ever since it
From the start,
implemented?
yes, sir. I was actually hired
The
to start the
DRC,
program.
this electronic, but the DRC started in
In the 90s.
in
90s,
the,
yes.
what, mid-90s?
Yes.
94, 95?
But I was hired for the pretrial part.
I see.
And we expanded it.
Real quick question, Work First, are they a provider for East Point? Work First?
The Workforce, as a provider, I don't think they're considered a provider.
Okay. I was concerned about the substance abuse, mental
Don't think
issue
they're
that she was
classified as a
talking about,
provider.
is that if we could get that maybe in, them to look at it, if they were, in fact, could do that at East Point?
Yeah, and there are times that Teresa and I'll talk, there will be a phone call at night, she'll say, and I'll get Ken on the phone and say, Ken, we got a client.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the connection's there.
Good, okay.
We match them up.
Any other questions?
One final
Mr.
comment, and that is, Mr. Smith, I'd recommend that in this situation that we're in with some of our prisoners having to be shipped out of the county, that we minimize the open spaces that we have here. We need to be maximizing those 50 spaces as best we can to minimize those going outside the county. Because at $50 a day, that's rather expensive. So if we use those 20 spaces, that's $1,000.
Well, some of those have been, those people that are out are court ordered out.
I understand.
So they've not been recommended for us, and that's the thing. But there are times she may be 42 or 45.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I'm
right
just
now, she's
minimizing.
30, right, in the 30 plus, so.
Thank you.
But yeah, we watch it every day.
Mr. Bell?
As far as the spaces that we hold, if you count the dollars all the way around, it's just not that $50 that go out. They got to be staff, they got to be a lot of stuff involved in order to bring on additional people. You just don't bring them on without somebody being able to take care of them. See? So there's a lot of money involved. So what they're doing, as Mr. Smith said, if the court have 5 or 6 people that need to go on over the DRC, and you done sign people to it, what are you going to do? You got to ship them out. So I think they're doing a good job in monitoring stuff and keeping the spaces available.
And I
Thank you.
can say, and most of the individuals that are being farmed out, they're misdemeanor cases. A lot of ours are the felony cases because we know they're going to be in jail for a longer period of time. And right now, the majority of our cases are usually sexual assault cases. The SBI lab's backed up. They know they're not going to be able to do their cases for a year or 2 years. So a lot of times they're on pretrial. They're on GPS for over a year with us. But a lot of the ones that are being farmed, they are the misdemeanor cases. Jennifer, our court liaison, she also works out of her office. She watches those very carefully because they can actually move their cases a lot quicker. So, that's where we're at that. But we always keep 5 units on reserve on the shelf that we never use because of the ones that we do have out. If something goes wrong with the unit, if, the battery goes there, something, we always have to have a unit to be able to pull.
Okay.
So right now, how many available units do we actually have in the office? 14. We actually have 14 available units right now. And child support courts today, we've already gotten 3 from there. So that's 3 gone from that number. So, we do the best that we can to utilize the units that we do have.
Okay.
And even on the probation side, statewide, you had to keep a certain number of units on hand at all times. You could not use your last unit.
Correct.
All right.
Just
Any,
one
yes,
short-
Mr. Cromartie.
The child support that you just mentioned, so you put a monitor on that person,
Correct.
and what is that person able to do? I mean,
The ones that are put on, those are usually the ones that the judge is kind of, okay, do I put this individual in jail, or do I send them over to the day reporting center so that we can work with them with substance abuse issues, help them attain their GED, put them in classes, work, and we just kind of push them to, just like we do with our pretrial, just push them to do something productive.
You're interested in keeping him someplace at a certain, does he have to be at home at a certain time, or?
Yes, sir. They all have curfews.
Okay.
All of the individuals on GPS, when they first come out of the jail, they're actually on lockdown for 2 weeks. They don't go anywhere. They come out of the jail, they go home. The only place they're allowed to come is to the DRC for class, substance abuse, go see their attorney, doctor's appointments, anything like that. After the 2 weeks, we do give them a curfew from 6 to 6 where they're allowed out of the house. For them to actually be able to leave their house past 6 o'clock, they have to turn in a form, where they're going to be, address, and has to be approved by myself. They cannot leave the state. If there's an issue comes up, such as they need to leave the state, we always contact the judge. If it's after hours, we call them at home. If it's during working hours, they'll go before them. They're the only ones that will approve them to leave the state. And that's very seldom that actually happens. We had one not so long ago, it was a death in the family, and that happened. But they are allowed to come and go, do productive things. We are able to monitor, watch them. We pull it up. My pretrial girls that have laptops that go home with them, it's on their phone where they're able to pull it up at any given time to see where they're at. This is the top of the line, state-of-the-art equipment. And we got a really good deal with this company because we had been with them from the beginning. We used to use the old landlines, house arrest units, and as we keep moving up, and then of course the more units we order, the price goes down on it.
Okay.
We do all of our own, so to speak, monitoring. We put all of our own stuff in the computer, set their own zones, so that saves us money there too. So they do all of that in their system. So that kind of cuts our costs. Before, we had a contract with the state. We had to pay them monthly because they did all that for us. But we all do that ourselves. So we're able to monitor them.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Teresa.
All right, thank you.
Good job. You got a lot going on.